Honorable Speaker, sir, I rise to register not just my opposition to this bill, but also my deep concern over the ad hoc, short-sighted decisions that the government is taking and also manipulating in the taxation system since the time GST started. The Central Excise Amendment Bill 2025 is another example, sir. The government is in the habit of taking ad hoc decisions, non-participative decisions, and then compensating for its own problems and pretending to rescue the nation by introducing more and more bills. Sir, let us be very clear. This bill is not about public health. Neither it is about national security. It is about filling a fiscal hole, basically created by the government's own failed GST implementation and its irresponsible borrowing. Speaker, sir, the government introduced GST with fanfare, saying that we will have one nation, one tax. Since the day it has been introduced, it has been one nation and constant confusion. For 8 long years, the government failed to manage GST revenues transparently, share it in time with the states, and created a lot of problems for the states. The so-called compensation cess, which was actually proposed for only 5 years, became a never-ending burden, primarily because of the government's center's failed attempt to protect revenues and also the reason it took massive loans, and then using the compensation to cess to pay its own debts. And today, instead of admitting that the GST has been riddled with design flaws, technical failures, the government brings an amendment and sells it as a public health reform, which is absolutely, I think, is misleading. Sir, this bill claims to maintain tax incidence, but what it actually does is, it is going back to the pre-GST era. So basically now we will have GST, central excise, and then cess also. So basically all the reform idea which was proposed, I think again we are going to multiple confusions in the GST regime. Sir, so this government has achieved something extraordinary. They are bringing back the pre-GST tax structure. They managed to invent an even more complicated, cumbersome and oppressive one. Sir, now the manufacturers, especially small-scale and traditional businesses, will be crushed under the compliance requirements. We will see the details later. But then these are all issues, sir. So if it is about health issues, if it was about protecting the people from the ill issues of tobacco, which was discussed for so long, the government actually should have spent more on cancer treatment, de-addiction programs and other things. Rather, this is just a fiscal arrangement which the government is doing. Sir, there is absolutely no clarity on, probably we'll have to wait for the companion bill also, where this cess will go or whatever the cess is going to be done and how it is going to transform into outcomes. So, sir, the major issue that I am opposing this bill is also on the larger GST landscape, where states are repeatedly being ignored, compensation dues are chronically delayed, rate decisions driven by political compulsions and not economic logic, rate inversions causing chaos for MSMEs. The entire GST, which are supposed to be a cooperative federal structure, is completely not running in the way it should be running. So the bill is nothing but a continuation of the same undemocratic style of functioning, centralization of power and decentralization of blame, and also ad hoc decision making, introduce one more bill, and then destroy all the reform process that you have brought in. So, sir, if the government is truly committed to reducing these harmful consumptions, it should go into other methods and not put a technical thing as a public health reform. So actually, sir, I think the bill is just a compensation for what problems have created through GST, and it should not have taken so long. But then again, to push it as a public health reform is something I don't think is in good interest. And I oppose this bill for this ad hoc method in which GST is being handled, and the entire country and the federal structure and the federal decision-making process is being compromised in this country. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Sri Sudhakar Singh ji.